So there were some guidelines that I'd created, and this is, I mean, I haven't heard anybody else talk about this, and I think there's some real power. I studied branding a lot when I had to rename Divi, and there's them things, and I've been saying this for over 10 years, this exact few lines I'm about to say, and I don't think anybody's really publicized it in general. Like, not like I'm the only one that's thought of it. I think it's just an unknown known thing. Um, 4-letter brands and the power of 4-letter brands. If you think about Puma, Nike, Vans, Kith, all these 4-letter brands, and then even Victoria's Secret created pink. Valentino could have created VLTNO, Valentino, but instead they did VLTN, 4 letters. Why? There's something about 4 letters because you can block it. It's super easy. So I was like, we need to have a 4-letter name, just in general. Five works too, right? Rolex, Adidas, yeah. There's all that, but 4 is ideal. You need to be able to verbalize it. We're running something that is an action. It has to be able to verbalize. You can't say I'm going to ripple that person. So ripple, even if there was never a ripple in the world, ripple doesn't work because you can't verbalize it. And if you think about Uber versus Lyft, even if you take a Lyft somewhere, you will tell people I Ubered here because you can verbalize Uber. You can't verbalize Lyft. I lifted here. Doesn't make any sense. So some people might say I took a lift, but what you'll normally hear 80% of the time is I Ubered here, regardless if they actually took an Uber or a Lyft, because that's the verb of ride sharing. And that's the action. And so it had to be something that you could, I snapped you, I Facebooked you, I popped you. So that was another one, was that you had to be able to verbalize it as the action.
So good. Like, I don't even want to talk because you're giving so much value right now. I do have a question. So you said, all right, this is our name, Popple. When are you comfortable sharing now publicly what you guys created? Because I think a lot of people like that are startup founders are in stealth mode. They want to, kind of make sure that their idea, like you said, doesn't get copied. So when should someone be ready to then market something publicly?
As soon as possible. One of the best
Okay.
things about Jason and Nick was they were never afraid to put it out there. Right. Reid Hoffman, founder of LinkedIn, says if you're not embarrassed of your first version, you waited too long to launch. So if you don't look back at V1 and think, ooh, what was that? Like, that's crazy. Then you probably waited too long to launch. And there's too many people. If you think about like a sprinter, they're in the starting blocks and they're ready to go and they just try to get more ready. Or if you're going sailing across the world, they are so busy making sure the boat has every second, third, fourth fail safe and every potential thing that by the time it is time to go, now those previous things need to be redone and fixed. So they never actually go because it's all about the preparation, making sure it's perfect. Because in the end, it's not easy to let society judge you. And that's what you're doing as an entrepreneur. You are saying, I think this is special. I'm going to introduce it to the world, especially something like Papa that's a new idea. And even though you don't get it, I think you're wrong and you will get it in the future. Like, that is a very difficult stance to take as an individual when maybe your family doesn't get it. I was lucky. A lot of my family is very supportive, but maybe your friends don't get it. I mean, if you ever want to realize who supports you, start a business, right? I'm sure you have a lot of stories. Like, you have your friends, you hit them up. Hey, I just launched this thing. Oh, can I get a big discount? Or, oh, that's cool, man. But they won't share it. But if Drake releases some Jordan 10s, they share it. And it's like, that would be very impactful for me and my business and where I'm at now. And I can't get the help that I want. And then what you quickly learn is strangers you work with become friends faster than friends become people you work with. And that's
We'll say
okay.
it again. That's good.
Yeah,
So
strangers
true.
become strangers you work with become friends faster than friends become people you work with.
Mm.
And it's
What's your thoughts? I'm curious on this one. A little side tangent. What's your thoughts on working with friends?
I think in a perfect world, it's the best, and at times
Hmm.
it's the absolute best. But in a lot of ways, I think you're better off finding a stranger, an acquaintance, somebody that is in line with your goals and your energy and your future, because oftentimes the friends we make are aligned with us at that moment. That's why you become friends, right? In high school, you play golf, they play golf, you become friends. Well, in college, you want to be successful, they want to be successful. 8 years after college, maybe you're in middle management not doing anything and you're a little down on life, and they're doing something, they're really excited. Well, now there's a gap there that really the only thing that a lot of times holds it together, and this is kind of morose in some ways, but it's just how I see the world, is surface level conversations and lack of discussing what really matters. And so that allows you to continue to have your good conversations, right? Like if you and I have grown apart and at one time we were equals, but now you're Jesse Ray multimillionaire and I'm Jeremy who is still working the same job I was working 8 years ago, we can't talk about what you want to talk about. It will come off as bragging to me. I won't understand and I won't take it the way you want me to take it. You probably want to help. You want to take me to where you are because that's what friends want to do. But if you're the one in the position of receiving it, a lot of times it can be difficult to understand that and not think about, well, what do they know? They got lucky. I'm here, whatever storyline they create. And so, in a lot of ways, the past is the biggest common denominator with our long-term friends unless you're growing together. And so to start a business with somebody that maybe there's a this, unless you're going to carry them to here, there's going to be resentment regardless, right? If I haven't started a business and you're a seasoned entrepreneur, but maybe I'm really good at running this business and you're like, hey, I want to back you. You're managing that business. You could be running it. You don't even see that. I'll put up the money. I'll get the brick and mortar place. I'm gonna make you 25% owner. I'm like, oh man, that's amazing. Thank you so much. Fast forward 18 months. I'm fucking working all the time. Jesse's taking 75%. This is bullshit. Like, what the hell? I thought he was my friend. I'm over here living on crumbs. I'm making a quarter. Jesse, what the hell? And it's like, man, I was just trying to help. And that's why no good deed goes unpunished. And sometimes it just takes a long time for that punishment to come. But in the end, you were truly just trying to help. And so sometimes starting business with friends can be magical, but you got to make sure that a lot of things are aligned and the type of person they are. Do they clap when other people win or do they not? That's the real indicator. Send something out to your group chat with your buddies. Hey, I just got fired. Instant responses. Hey, I just got bad news. Instant responses. Hey, I just got promoted. Cool. Oh, that's good, man. Right. So sometimes in the wrong circles, those happen. Right. Or like,
Hmm.
hey, I just won the lottery. Oh, man, he gets everything. Can I borrow 20 grand? Da, 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 da. Right. You want to be around people who are genuinely happy for you. And if
Yes.
you're not, it'll bring you down to whatever level they decide, which won't be where you're trying to go.